It's Monday, September 22nd, and happy birthday to my bride, Mary. Though I'm not going to tell you her age, but you'd be surprised. I'm just wondering today, I'm trying to figure out if we're going to see a piece of dung like that every Sunday from the Cowboys.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Eyeing retirement? We aim to turn your nest egg into a paycheck with half the amount you've been led to believe. Fluent Financial combines in-house portfolio design risk management with income-generating investments designed to aid your financial independence. Our goal is to develop an effective portfolio strategy to help you retire sooner and have a better lifestyle. Fluent Financial can also implement a program that allows business owners to install a cash balance plan, which may potentially reduce income tax payments. You've worked hard to become successful. Let us help develop an effective portfolio strategy that works for you. Learn more today about Fluent Financial. Retire sooner, better lifestyle. For more information or to schedule a meeting, visit fluentfinancial.com or call 972-852-4800.
As the Cowboys game went on yesterday, I asked myself, who? And I asked myself, who again? And then, who again? Who as in, who the hell's supposed to be covering that Chicago Bears wide receiver? There were a handful of plays in which the wide receiver was so open, I used Walker. I could have caught that pass. You talk about wide open. Trayvon Diggs got torched early, then got hurt, and then back in the game. Kyer Elam, I don't know what to make of him, but he's got grill marks for the second week in a row now. The safeties, little or no help in this game. The Cowboys let rookie tight end Colston Loveland loose for a 31-yard connection. And then rookie Luther Burden for a 65-yard touchdown bomb on a flea flicker play. And then I'd be hard-pressed to tell you who was even supposed to be covering the tight end Cole Kmet on his 10-yard touchdown catch. And then, of course, wide receiver Rome Odunze was running around like some child does at a playground, just making plays and not bothered at all. In fact, he could have made a couple more plays, but he didn't. I kept asking myself who. For the second week in a row, I'm asking myself who. If this is the secondary we're going to see, man, this is happy days for the quarterbacks coming up. Next, this club has zero pass rush. I said zero, as in none, as in nobody. The Cowboys had no sacks today. They had one hit on the quarterback. What that means is, after he's thrown a pass, likely for 30 or 40 yards, somebody then hit him. Oh, well. Caleb Williams just stood back there and picked the Cowboys' poor secondary apart. The Lions last week scored 52 points on the Bears' defense. Now, the Lions are pretty good offensively. That's maybe not the proper measuring stick. But the Cowboys got one touchdown today. One. touchdown today. And a couple of field goals. And they threatened a couple of other times, but simply folded when they got in or near the red zone. I'm getting more and more and more concerned that the Cowboys' second-year left tackle Tyler Guyton simply cannot play. More penalties today, another sack allowed today. This was the year Tyler Guyton was supposed to show improvement after that dreadful rookie season. Well, I don't see it. And here's the problem. The Cowboys have no alternative at left tackle. That's why Guyton's starting. At least last year they had the veteran vagabond Chuma Edoga available, but there's nobody here to take his job. Undrafted second-year man Nate Thomas or former fifth-rounder Asim Richards. They're no threat to his job, though if he keeps playing like this, everybody who can pull on a uniform is a threat to his job. And by the way, the other tackle, Terrence Steele, he wasn't very good today either. Yes, C.D. Lamb got hurt mid-first quarter, and that is a weapon out of the Cowboys' passing attack. But George Pickens is a number one receiver, and Turpin is a weapon, and Jake Ferguson's a solid tight end, and Tolbert, it's his fourth year. He was a third-round draft choice. Now, I admit he hasn't been scintillating in his 3 years here, but that shouldn't leave the Cowboys' passing attack anemic. Oh, and don't tell me about Dak being 31 for 40. Just don't tell me about that. But Lamb went out with a bad ankle, and then he tried to come back for a play, and then he went to the bench for good. But I'm puzzled by Dak Prescott's approach to today's game. He kept throwing little dump-down passes, little 3-yarders, 4-yarders. I'm puzzled by that. Are we to think that the Bears, with a starting cornerback out, were simply so good in the secondary that none of the wide receivers running downfield were open? But there we were. 3rd and 15. Dak threw a 2-yard pass. 3rd and 6. Dak threw a 3-yard pass. 3rd and 5. Dak threw a 3-yard pass. 3rd and 9. Dak threw a 5-yard pass. This is the Dak Prescott that so infuriated us a couple years ago that he would not take shots down the field. Oh, and by the way, about C.D. Lamb and his injured ankle. He hurt his ankle. Once he couldn't play, why did he spend the next 2+ hours walking up and down the sideline on his injured ankle? I'm not saying that Lamb wasn't hurt. I'm saying he was hurt. And this may be silly, but you know what? If I injure my ankle, or Happy Birthday Mary injures her ankle, we're going to sit down. We're not going to spend 2+ hours walking around on an injured ankle. But that's just Mary and me. And finally, for Coach Schottenheimer, it was 4:59 left in the game. The Cowboys trailed 31-14, but had the ball 3rd down and 1 at the Bears' 1-yard line. Okay, what's the plan here? Let's get the scene set again for you. Down 17, 5 minutes to go. You've got all 3 of your timeouts left, and you're at the 1 yard line. What's the first thing you do? You ram the ball into the end zone. You get the touchdown. Why did he call a pass on 3rd and 1? That was incomplete. And on 4th down, Coach Shoddy called another pass. And that was intercepted. I know it was a long shot the Cowboys were going to come back. But wait a minute. Javonte Williams had averaged 7.5 yards per carry in the game. Miles Sanders had averaged 4.5 yards a carry in the game. The Cowboys ran the ball well. 3rd and 1 at the goal line, and you're throwing little dinky passes? Come on, man. Man up. Ram the ball in the end zone, then either kick it long and tell your defense to hold, or try an onside kick, and if you don't get it, tell your defense to hold. Then, if the Bears have the ball, use timeout, timeout, timeout. You try to force the Bears to give it up and see what you can do in the last 4 minutes of the game. The Cowboys never got that touchdown because, in my estimation, we wimped out, throwing little tiny passes. I'm sorry. If you believe I'm sarcastic and hacked off about the Cowboy game yesterday, you are correct. But you know what? Early in the day, my worries increased greatly about this game because I got the Sunday morning Dallas Morning News. And in here, they have 6 of their writers pick the game. And there's a guy from the Associated Press who picks games for them also. This was a coin toss game. That's what the line on the game said. Coin toss. All 6 of the writers picked Dallas, and so did the Associated Press guy. And I thought to myself, because in the NFL, it's pretty wise when you see everybody going that way to choose to go that way yourself. This is a terrible loss. An absolutely terrible loss. This is a could've, should've, must've win game. This is a mediocre team like you are. You got to win games like this if you're going to have much of a season. And this is the second week in a row the Giants are less than mediocre. The Dallas defense was atrocious, just atrocious. And today, the Cowboys' offense, I won't go back to the wimping out line, the Cowboys' offense couldn't keep pace like they did last week when they fished the Cowboys' defense out of the fire with a 40-37 win. If this is the Dallas Cowboy team we're going to see this season, I'm ready for 4-13 or 5-12. What do you want from your favorite restaurant? Fantastic personal service, a cheery, welcoming, spotless atmosphere, and, of course, great food. The primest of beef, wagyu and lamb, incredibly fresh seafood, lobster, salmon, shrimp, Hall of Fame food from a Hall of Fame restaurant, 2 locations of Bob's Steak and Chop House, the original Bob's on Lemon Avenue, and the gorgeous new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney. My wife Mary's the co-creator of Full Moon Healing Balm, and I guess I'm the reason this terrific cream was developed. A few years ago, I began getting these huge, ugly blood blotches just beneath the skin of my arms and hands. The condition's called senile purpura. And no, you don't have to be senile to experience this embarrassment. It happens as you age. And then to cover it up, we begin wearing long sleeves even when it's hot. It took 2 years working with a New Jersey lab to refine the all-natural ingredients of Full Moon Healing. Gently massage a very small amount into the skin, and within a day, the blotches begin to fade. Senile purpura usually takes weeks to disappear, but this balm cuts the timeline to about a week. And ordering's so easy. Just go to the website, fullmoonhealingco.com. You know, about a week ago, we were just starting to believe that the Rangers were pulling off the impossible when they seemed out of the wild card race, just out of it. They ripped off 9 out of 10 and had gotten themselves into, everybody has these odds these days, 37-38% to make the playoffs. And then over the last 8 days, the Rangers lost 7 straight games. And stop me if you've heard this story before. In this 7-game losing streak, they got a lot of good pitching. And they got a lot of sucky hitting. This team hasn't been able to hit all year. And Chris Young, the general manager, has some serious choices in the offseason about how many of these players he's going to bring back. Will he bring back Adolis Garcia or Jonah Heim or Jake Berger? Who's coming back here? The saddest thing here. Well, today's lineup. I looked at the lineup today. The Rangers starting 9 hitters. Michael Hellman, who just got here a couple weeks ago, he was hitting .256. That was the best in the 9-man lineup. And then Josh Young was next at .252, an average you know he is not happy with. The Rangers today started 4 hitters hitting under .220. Good grief. The epitaph of this season, it's been a waste. A waste of incredible pitching. The Rangers have been here 5.5 decades. And I saw the first game they ever played and have been here for all 5.5 decades. And let me tell you something, never at the end of the season was the epitaph of the Rangers, man, they wasted a ton of good pitching. But that's what'll be carved on the tombstone this season.
And now a word from our title sponsor. Today's episode has been brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Earlier, Live Better, and by Bob's Steak and Chop House on Lemon in Dallas and in Craig Ranch in McKinney. Bob's, a Dallas tradition for more than 30 years.
If you've enjoyed Just Wondering, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will land in your mailbox early every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. Should you know a sports fan who might like our work, please share our contact information with that person. Just Wondering is technically directed by my wife Mary, who is also occasionally a talent on the show. It's produced by Mike Matern, edited and posted by Ashley Bullington. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering. I'm Norm Hitzges, and know that every day I'll be just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitzges, and I'll just be wondering too.
This is a Stolen Water Media production.